What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Rant Apocalypse YouTube channel. I'm Justin.
Hey, I'm Kelly.
Yes.
The dogs are starting to bark.
Yeah, those motherfuckers. You don't bark right now. We've been sitting here waiting tinkering with this crap for hours and hours. So we're doing our Game of Thrones podcast, but we're doing it via Google Hangout. And the reason why we're doing that is because some jackass on one of our last videos, he commented, or she commented. I don't technically know if it was a girl, but I just have a feeling it was some dude that commented and said, you guys can go ahead and quit YouTube. Said, if you're going to show us 30 minutes of image, you can just go ahead and quit YouTube. So, hey, this is what you get. You get our faces.
Yeah. Big mistake.
That person may want to go back to that 30 minutes of just that Game of Thrones image, but we're here and this is what you get. So we're hoping to, we got to get accustomed to this Google Hangout stuff, right?
Oh my God. If you could see how I've got everything propped up in here just so that I can be on camera. Yeah. Yes. I don't mean my body parts or anything, but like my computer's all, So it'll take a while. We'll get used to it. It's weird for me to look at you or for you to be able to look at me because you can't see when you're talking a lot and I go like this. Oh my God. Normally.
Yeah, normally. Well, now you can only do that without any audible noises behind it, because if you do audible noises behind that eye roll, then it's going to capture you on the Google Hangout. And I guess since this is the first time we've ever done a Google Hangout, I guess we should maybe do a little bit of backstory really quick. We'll try to get through this really fast, which if you're a long time listener to any of our podcasts, know that that's damn near impossible. But we've been doing podcasts together for quite some time. It's been about 3 years. I am the son in this relationship. You are my mom.
Yes, I'd be the mom, and that's how you're the son.
Yes, that's how that works. Yeah, right. Things happen, and then the mom gets with the dad, and then the son pops out. So,
right.
But we've been doing podcasts on The Walking Dead. What else? Wayward Pines, 12 Monkeys.
The
Strain. I don't know, a bunch of other random stuff, video games as well. But we've always done them via Skype because we've never lived in the same place. We still don't. But Google Hangouts, we never tried it before. It looks pretty awesome. I mean, we've been tinkering with it all night. And it's kind of sad to say that, it's Google Hangouts have been around for like a decade now, I think, or something.
Seriously?
Like
really? I just heard about it tonight for the first time. So I was glad to try it.
It's not been quite a decade. Maybe it has. Hell, I don't know. We're in 2016, and I feel like they've been out for quite some time. But hopefully you'll enjoy it. We're going to get into our full-on Game of Thrones podcast. But now you'll just be able to see our faces, and you'll be able to see my mom's eye rolls when I talk too much.
But I have to laugh or make some kind of noise for you to be able to actually see them. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
I have to talk for my face to show up on the screen. Is that what you're saying?
Indeed. Yes, you do. Yes.
Okay,
so do an eye roll right now.
All right.
With no noise. See?
You didn't see it?
I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
All right, now let's try that. God, jeez. How was that?
That's gonna work. That's gonna work perfectly. That's gonna work perfectly.
Okay.
So, all right, we're about to get into our podcast. So, stay tuned for the rest of this video.
Should I fail to persuade the Blackfish to surrender, and if you attack the castle, honor compels me to fight you.
I love Cersei, and if I have to slaughter every Tully who ever lived to get back to her, that's what I'll do.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Rant of Thrones, the poor man's Game of Thrones after show. I'm Justin.
Hey, I'm Kelly. Am I supposed to still keep talking?
Yeah, you're supposed to say we're the world's greatest mother and son Game of Thrones podcasting duo. I have to preface it. We're the world's greatest podcasting mother and son Game of Thrones duo,
right?
Because we're certainly not the world's greatest Game of Thrones mother and son YouTube duo, because there's like some mother and son, and holy shit, they are way better than us. I'm sorry to say.
Seriously?
Yeah.
No, okay, give me their names.
Yeah, if you go take them out, then we're like the only ones. But as of right now, we're definitely slightly behind them.
What makes them so great?
Well, they're really knowledgeable.
Oh, shit.
They're really smart.
Oh, shit.
They're really intelligent.
Okay, never mind. It's fine. It's fine.
They have cohesive thoughts about the episodes, but you know,
are they fun?
I don't know if they're fun. I don't know if you could say that they're all the time fun, but I do like them a lot. They probably talk, you know, whenever they watch a Game of Thrones episode, like this episode that we're about to get into, which is season 6, episode 8, No One, they probably focus a lot on themes and, you know, plot lines as opposed to wiener shots like we would.
Exactly. I'm like, more peen. So
yeah, my girlfriend, when we were watching that just now, she's like, oh my God, that's so gross. Because
it was not gross. And I know you have to be talking about the mountain when he pulled out his wiener.
Well, we haven't seen a mountain. That was the Hound that pulled out his wiener.
The Hound. Yeah.
They're brothers.
They're brothers. They're got to be similar.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, hopefully one is not working with way more than the other one, because then that creates some kind of jealousy right there. Which I would say, if anything, I'm going to say that the Mountain would be jealous of the Hound, what he's working with, because the Mountain's always been a dick. And, you know, he burned the Hound, burned his face.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's some deep-seated issues there.
So it had to be
deep-rooted issues.
Because he has a little wiener.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep. Big bro, you know, he's packing. Little bro, not so much.
Not so much, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and I just want to say hats off to the Hound, because it's so bad.
Oh, that's disturbing. Now I can see your facial expressions during this as well. So yeah, if you're listening to this on any podcasting services, we're actually doing this on YouTube with our faces now. So go check that out. It's Rantpocalypse on the YouTubes. All right, so let's get into this episode. I will go through the quick synopsis. Like I said, we're talking about episode 8 of season 6, entitled No One. And this is the synopsis, which I love to hear on from HBO. While Jaime weighs his options, Cersei answers a request. Tyrion's plans bear fruit, and Arya faces a new test. I actually really liked it when we went through the synopsis last time, whenever we recapped episode 7. So will you humor me and go through this again?
Oh, sure. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I have fun with it, because they have like we talked about it last week. Sometimes they have some random stuff that they throw in there. So let's look at that first line. While Jaime weighs his options. Okay.
And he did. He was trying to decide whether he was going to, go get all bloody with this. Let's see, what else did he try to decide? That's pretty much it. Don't you think?
Well, he decided between whether or not it was going to be a bloody affair at River Run, or would he, take the route where there was no bloodshed. Right. I don't think that he would have taken that route whatsoever if it wasn't for Brienne of Tarth coming in. They had their nice reunion and everything, and she kind of, I think she's like this calming presence within Jaime's life, because he doesn't have a whole lot of those. I mean, he had a terrible shithill of a dad that basically said he was not good enough for his entire life, even though he was a part of the King's Guard for the majority of his life. He was the King Slayer that took out the Mad King. This was never enough for, dear old dad. Could have had something to do with the fact that he was, banging Cersei on the side. Maybe.
Yeah, no, that had nothing to do with it. I mean, they've been doing that for years in royal families. Royal families. I don't think he had even thought about the doing the non-bloody route of trying to get River Run. I think he had one goal, and that was either going to be try to take his army and go through the walls, or kill Edmund's kids.
Yeah.
Or kid.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of agree with you. I mean, he did have a very interesting conversation with Edmure a little bit earlier.
Is it Edmure?
Yeah, Edmure is the Lord of Riverrun. He's like the rightful heir to Riverrun.
Okay, it's not Edmund.
No, I mean,
where did I come up with Edmund? I can't read close. I can't read my own writing. That's how.
That's what that is. Hey, it happens to the best of us. I usually write mine down a couple of times. So just a peek behind the curtain here, since we are on Google Hangouts right now. So this is part of my notes, so which you can't really see. So this is my
English.
It is English. This is my quick synopsis of the episode. So like I go through every single thing that happened in the episodes, and then you go over here, and I have, let's see, there's 1 page, 2 pages. There's like 4 pages here of notes. So that's what I take while I'm watching the episode. Then I go back after the episode is over with, and then I go through and say like, okay, what happened at Bravos? What happened at Marine? What happened with the Hound? Because, I like to go by locations, but the Hound, where the fuck is the Hound? I don't even know. He's just wandering around out there in the middle of nowhere. And then, of course, River Run, and then King's Landing. So I say, since we're going through this sentence, I kind of like it. It kind of gives us exactly everything that went down. Now I can't get back in my phone to see the synopsis, but all right. So Jaime does weigh his options in this episode. What did you think about his reunion with Brienne?
I thought it was so sweet. I mean, they do have, surprisingly enough, they seem to have a respect for each other. And he seemed like he was kind of happy to see her.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was very happy to see her. I like the fact that whenever they're having that conversation, you can you see like this little twinkle in his eye and everything when he's talking to Brienne. It's so nice to see them together. To me, there was so much sexual tension between these two. I'm just like, all right, you two, y'all just need to go bang it out and either fall madly in love with one another, or it's like that you got to bang it out and then you realize.
And you're done.
You
got it out of your system. Let me just get it out of my system. I think Bronn was right when that whole conversation he's having with Podrick about you think they're fucking, and that's as close as I can get to the accent.
It's pretty good.
It wasn't too bad, but that whole conversation, I knew you had to just been like peeing in your pants over.
I was
fun.
It was so much fun. I love Bronn on the show. I get that he's been playing this same role for a number of seasons. I've seen some of the diehard book fans that are kind of sick of Bronn. For me, I can never get sick of Bronn. I love those little interactions that he had with Podrick. I thought they were great. I wanted to play a game with you based on that conversation that Bronn and Podrick had, because like you said, he was being crass about it. He was saying you think they're fucking and everything.
Yeah,
and he said, I would.
Yeah, I'd hit that, and I think he might actually hit Jaime because he did say Jaime was really, really good looking. So, all right, what's the game?
Okay, the game is we're gonna play a game of F, Marry, Kill.
Okay.
All right, and so you're gonna put yourself into the mindset of Brienne.
Okay.
You're no longer Kelly.
Okay.
You're no longer Ditzy DJ.
Okay.
You are Brienne of Tarth.
All right, watch. Did you see me get taller? I sat up.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Right.
Yes, you get super huge muscles and can beat the hell out of all men. Okay, so F, Marry, Kill. And these are your contestants in your game of F, Marry, Kill.
Okay.
Bronn.
Okay.
Bronn is number 1.
Okay.
Then Podrick.
Oh.
Then Jaime.
Oh, damn.
I mean, I made this easy. I mean, this isn't like I didn't come up with this it didn't take a whole lot of time.
Okay. So I am going to I'm gonna fuck Jamie. You know that. I'm sorry. I'm gonna F him. I'm gonna F him. Sorry.
Language,
so
Mom.
Sorry.
Language.
So sorry. Okay. I'm gonna kill Bronn, and I'm gonna marry Podrick.
Damn. Killing Bronn off. Holy crap.
Because he's never going to be faithful to you. And I mean, Podrick is young. You can grow him up the way you want to grow him up. And honestly, I mean, I would pick Jamie for all of those things, really. I mean, because
you would F, marry, and kill Jamie.
Yes. Which is a little weird, because if you F him after you kill him, that's gross.
That's necrophilia, right?
Yes, it is.
That's disgusting.
Okay,
but
if you were,
I like how you like breezed right over that.
If you, okay, I'm not going to say that I wouldn't. It's Jamie motherfucking Lannister, for God's sakes. So
he's a good-looking man. He's a good-looking man.
Okay, so if you were in Brienne's shoes, what would you do?
Oh man, that's a tough one. Bronn, Podrick, or Jamie?
Yeah.
Well, okay, F, marry, and kill.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go very similar to you with Jamie, because
Okay.
I think I'm gonna fuck Jamie.
Okay.
But I'm gonna tell you for different reasons. I can't fuck Bronn because Bronn is a man whore, and Bronn has been going around all over Westeros,
Exactly,
and in the free cities, slanging his penis and getting diseases.
Yeah,
so,
he's got some contagions.
Yes, he definitely does. So I got to cross Bronn off the effing list.
Okay.
So, but I'm going to throw a wrench in this because I'm going to kill Podrick and I'm going to marry Bronn.
And never F again.
And never F again. And the reason why I'm going to marry Bronn is because he's adventurous. He's fun. He gets around. He wants to go all over the world. He doesn't want to settle. He's not going to settle with me. I mean, obviously, I know he's going to go cheating on me and, being a bastard. But I will have fun while he's doing it.
Oh, that's true. That's true. And Podrick, I have a feeling, it could get a little boring.
Even though Bronn did say that Pod had the magic penis.
I know. I was really curious about that. And I bet they don't talk about that on that other mother and son show.
Yeah, I don't think so. Take that, bitches.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're definitely not going to play a game of F, marry, kill on their Game of Thrones after show.
Well, all right then.
Yeah, exactly. So, keeping it River Run, what did you think about the Blackfish refusing Brienne? I just didn't. I was not happy about that. I was actually quite pissed off at the Blackfish in this episode.
You mean that he wouldn't leave with her?
Yeah, that he wouldn't leave with her. He was so stubborn. He continued to do what every dude in Game of Thrones does. And when I say every dude, not the young ones, because it's been very interesting over the last couple of seasons, especially like this season and probably last season as well, is like, and this isn't something new that I'm bringing up. This is something that you can go out there and you can read all about on, just go search Game of Thrones, themes of honor or changing to the guard in the show, because there's such a fight between the old ways and the new ways on this show. And we've seen in the past, like how the old ways, they're just getting brushed aside by like every person on the show. And so like, the Blackfish, he's an older dude. He is an honorable, he definitely follows these traditions and these rules and everything.
Honorable is a questionable word.
Well, I mean, okay, tell me why do you not think that he's honorable?
Well, River Run wasn't his to command when the rightful Lord shows up. You don't tell him to, tear him apart. I don't care what you do with him. Just, he's not getting in here. This is my home now because I'm on this side of the wall. So I just thought that was pretty shitty. I mean, I as a strategy, I got it. They were gonna lose River Run as soon as they let down the gate. Yeah.
As soon as that gate went down, I mean, I knew it was all over with. As soon as Edmure came up there to the gate,
Right.
I knew it was all over with, which really sucked. I don't know. For me, I really wish that this storyline would have went in a different direction, and the Blackfish would have joined forces with Brienne. He would have met up with his, was his niece Sansa.
Great niece.
Great niece. Yeah. That's what I wanted. I know it's a feel good, and we don't get many feel goods on Game of Thrones, but that's one that I wanted mainly because I wanted to see the Blackfish fight. I mean, he seemed like a hard ass whenever he was having those conversations with Jaime, last week's or the week before episode. Whenever he really cut Jaime down. Like, I mean, it was embarrassing how bad he talked down to Jaime, which was also kind of cool in this episode, seeing Jaime, he had like such a turnaround in this episode. That conversation that he had with Edmure, man, that was epic. When he told him that, at first he was playing like the good guy with Edmure, and then all of a sudden when Edmure was trying to talk shit to him and, talking down to him, basically saying like, you're the Kingslayer, blah, 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 all this other crap, he's like, I will take your kid and put him in the catapult, and I will shoot him over into River Run.
I thought it was pretty amazing for him to just out and out admit that, we both love our sisters. I love mine just a little bit differently than you love yours. And I would do anything for Cersei. And I don't care if you look at me funny. It doesn't matter. I love her. And I'll kill every Tully on the face of the earth to get back to her. I'm like, oh, go Jaime. Go Jaime. Because, he was playing dirty. But who would blame him? I mean, if you're in the same position, you do the exact same thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I totally agree with Jaime's way of going about things, and that's always the most interesting thing about Game of Thrones is nobody's the bad guy,
right?
Nobody is the villain in their own eyes. I mean,
except for one, Ramsay. I mean, he's a villain in everybody's eyes, don't you think?
I mean,
even he knows.
I mean,
a fucktard.
I think he wants to be the villain. I think that's the difference with Ramsay is like he wants to be the villain. Theon, on the other hand, he was he was made into the villain on the show when that ultimately wasn't his true feelings inside. That wasn't his true personality. That was just something he felt like he had to do in order to please his father, which, he was another one of those old dudes that was stubborn, had his ass thrown off the bridge. But yeah, I mean, I agree. Ramsay, he is ultimately a bad guy. Jaime, just like you said in this episode, the things we do for love is super awesome callback to the premiere, pilot episode whenever he threw Bran.
See you later, kid.
Yeah. I mean, I love that look whenever he looks back to Cersei, the things we do for love, and then he turns back to Bran and just 300s his ass like right out the window. I loved everything that Jaime did in this episode. I thought it was great. I was disappointed that in the end he didn't take up arms with Brienne. Basically, at this point, I just want Jaime to get rid of Cersei. I want him to be with Brienne. Even though I love Tormund. I love Tormund. I mean, I'm growing out my Tormund Giantsbane beard now.
Yeah, you are.
But I love Jaime more. I mean, even though he was so cold to Edmure in this episode, I don't care. Like I want Jaime to win. I don't know what I want him to win. I don't even know if I want him to win Cersei, because I think at this point, like Cersei's so far gone. I don't think even if he came back, like he's going to come back. He got River Run. That's not going to be enough for Cersei. Like I think Cersei's got a death wish at this point.
What makes you say that?
I don't know. Like, I mean, you know how people in relationships are, especially like, okay. I don't want to get like too deep or too dark or anything like this, but
do tell. Get dark.
No. I don't want to get too dark, but you see it in relationships where there's something that happens, and then one of the individuals in that relationship, they kind of they shut down internally, and it usually doesn't work out in the relationship long term for the couple and everything. And I just feel like at this point, Cersei, all she wants is just to kill everybody in her way. And I don't think one, she cares for her own personal safety at this point. I mean, we saw that in this episode whenever, you know, the faith militant, they come up and they're like, you know, hey, if you don't get him out the way, it's going to lead to violence. And she goes, I choose violence. Now, granted, she has
exactly
on her side.
Exactly. I mean, why wouldn't you? He always wins. So I don't think if he wouldn't have been standing there, she would have said, no, let's talk this out. I think this will be fine. I'll go with you. This is no issue. I'm a civil person.
Yeah, that's definitely not Cersei's MO. She's definitely not a civil person.
Did you not feel a little bit sorry for her in that whole situation with her son just totally dissing her? Because let me tell you, when your son disses you, it's bad. It's bad. Really, really bad.
That's very true. I mean, I don't know. Tommen's such a weasel. Like, I don't know. There's just something about him that I just do not like at all. I mean, I felt like Cersei was just going to stick the Franken Mountain on him and just destroy him. I don't know what it's going to come to with Tommen at this point because, yeah, I mean, he has completely turned his back on his mom. And, you know, Cersei was the only one that was there for him when all this shit was going down. Now, granted, she was also the reason why all this shit was going down. So, I mean, she has only herself to blame, which, you know, that's what Lady Olenna told her, basically. And I mean, I think she's realized that by now. And that's why she literally is like, I'm going to burn this mother down.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to happen. Okay. Whenever Franken Mountain ripped that dude's head off, like literally just like grabbed his head.
And the spine came out with it. That was so awesome. That was incredible. And I could see why they call it the Red Keep, because the blood running down into the drain. I was like, oh, that was cool.
Yeah, it definitely trickles down, and it was really gross. It was really freaking gross. It was really freaking awesome at the same time. I mean, we saw the preview, the little 30-second teaser at the end of last week's episode 7, and I knew some crazy shit was going to go down. Like, I didn't know what exactly was going to go down. I honestly thought Lancel was going to be counted this week.
That would have been so great.
Yeah,
that'd have been fun.
Yeah, Lancel needs to go. He needs to go. But yeah, it was really, really gross. There's a fatality. I think it's in Mortal Kombat 1 where Sub-Zero, I think, and I may be ultimately wrong, but I know that there's a fatality in Mortal Kombat where the dude, like, you know, grabs the skull and rips it out.
It's not one.
It's not one?
Because I remember thinking that Mortal Kombat 1 was just awful, and then watching one of the subsequent ones and watching that kill and thinking, oh my God, they have totally outdone themselves. Because I remember it was so brutal, just down, and when they would do that to the chick and go down through the top of her head and, you know, rip her head off and her spine, and I remember thinking, that is just really horrible that they're doing that. They can do it to the other dudes, but to the chick, that's just wrong.
Yeah, do it to the dudes. Who cares about these dudes?
I know. Well, and again, you played the game. I just watched you play it. So.
You did. You loved watching the Mortal Kombat. It was super gross. And thank you, Mom, because you didn't give me the Super Nintendo version back in the day that had the green blobby blood. You got me the Sega Genesis version that had the real red blood. So,
That's right.
Nobody need that green alien blood around. I had my question was that kill by the Franken Mountain worse than his head smashing of Oberyn?
No. Because in my opinion, it seems like they didn't show it as well as they could have shown it just a little bit more.
Oh my God, you are evil. You are evil.
I know, you know, and again, I've got this huge TV that's in high definition, and it still wasn't quite gory enough for me.
You're like, I just needed a little bit more of that head shown.
They needed to move the camera angle just, you know, because we saw his back as he leaned over to yank the spine out.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal. I will say that, yeah, it was not as brutal as Oberyn's, because literally Oberyn's, I mean, it's showing as he's smushing into his eyeballs. That was just freaking disgusting.
And we loved Oberyn.
Yeah, and we loved Oberyn. I mean, he was one of the greatest characters on any show that was only around for like a couple of episodes. Yeah, Oberyn was fantastic.
Oh, all my girlfriends still. God, they're so disgusting about him.
Oberyn. Yeah. I mean, he was a good looking man. I had a question about Oberyn. Oh, where did it go? I don't know what happened to it. It left my brain. I can't remember. But what I was gonna say also about this whole thing with Cersei and King's Landing, there was the vision that Bran had back a couple of weeks ago, where we saw him. He was basically downloading all of the Matrix and getting that from what was his name? I can't remember.
The Three-Eyed Raven.
The Three-Eyed Raven, yeah, the blood Raven, Three-Eyed Raven, Three-Eyed Crow, whatever the hell they call him. And there was that vision of King's Landing exploding because of the wildfire. I think it's the wildfire. And there was a moment in this episode where Qyburn comes up, and whenever Tommen shuns Cersei and is like, hey, there's not going to be any more trial by combat. That shit's old. That's outdated. We're not going to do that anymore. The real reason why they're not going to do it anymore is because Cersei played her damn card and had the Franken Mount destroy that dude in front of the Faith Militant. She should have held back. Maybe they wouldn't have known he's such a badass. But anyways, they have a discussion. It's super brief, and he says something. Qyburn says something to Cersei along the lines of, that little rumor that you told me. Well, does he have the birds? Yeah,
he has birds because
Varys
has the other one, spiders.
Spiders, that's right. You're right. Yes. Yeah. And he said that the rumor's true, and that it's more. There's more to the rumor than they thought. I think at this point, Cersei, she is going to burn King's Landing down. Like there's no two ways about it. She's going to burn King's Landing down. I think next week's episode or episode 10.
I mean, this season. You predict this season. Okay. So is she going to burn in it, or will she get out?
Man. Well,
I don't want to see her go. She's one of those people I love to hate. And I still actually truthfully root for her still.
I don't know how I root for her at this point, because they've done away with the Dorne storyline so damn much. Like it's almost like that didn't even happen. And that was what I was rooting for at this point for Cersei. I mean, like, I ultimately want Arya still to kill that bitch. Like, I love her, and I do root for her in a way, but I ultimately want the Starks to get revenge on Cersei in the end, some way. I mean, season
definitely
7, season 8, whatever it is.
Maybe 10.
Yeah.
I know we're not going to get it. I just wishful thinking. It's wishful thinking. No, I want revenge for the Starks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so she's got to stay around long enough to have that happen.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I don't think that she will end up burning herself. I think she's going to end up burning Tommen, though. Like, I think Tommen, that's his death. And sadly, I think it might be Marjorie's death as well.
It's kind of interesting that we haven't seen her. We didn't see her. Did we see her last week?
The episodes are kind of running into one another right now. I don't remember. I know we've seen her recently because she was a part of the whole, whenever the Crown and the Faith came together, when Jaime rode up on the steps in his horse. I think that was last week.
Well, see, I think it was the week before.
It could have been.
I don't know. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But it's been a while, and she was only there for a second.
Yeah, she wasn't there for much because she also had to pass that note on to Lady Olenna like very recently to say like, hey, get out of King's Landing because the High Septon is going to basically come try to kill your ass. So we haven't seen a whole lot of her this season at all, which is very.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you.
Thanks for bringing it up and ruining things for me. But okay, so going back to the synopsis, like this all like it all like circles back to the synopsis.
Well, have we not even got?
No,
we that part of it yet.
Well,
I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
Well, we were talking about Cersei, so and that's the part we were at because we already talked about while Jaime weighs his options. I mean, I think we kind of we ran through everything with Jaime running his options. I love the fact that he did let he let Brienne and Pod go. Like he didn't.
And he
end up
waved at her, kind of sweet. It was sweet, and she got to keep the sword.
Yes, Oathbreaker. She got to keep the sword and everything, which is good because I believe it's Valyrian still, and she's going to need that whenever she fights the White Walkers.
Exactly.
Yeah, which also makes me kind of sad because that means Jaime won't have a Valyrian steel sword. So does that mean Jaime then dies?
If Jaime dies, I riot.
No, all right, I'll remember that.
Okay, because I need some JL in my life.
Well, good thing. I think we'll have him around for a little bit longer. So, but Cersei answers a request. Okay, I guess that's just so vague.
Oh, it's so vague. She shows up.
Cersei answers a request on next week's episode of Game of Thrones. Yeah, that's pretty vague, but yeah, she did answer the request. So all right,
she did. She didn't want to, but she did.
I don't think I have anything else about Cersei. Let me look. Yeah, my little birds. Yep, we got that. Done away with the trial by combat. Yeah, that was pretty much it. I do wonder, which I think we talked about. I do wonder how Jaime and Cersei how they're going to interact going forward. So that is something that I am very intrigued by coming in the next couple of episodes. We only got 2 left, which is very sad.
Yeah, your favorite penultimate.
Yes, the penultimate episode, and it's going to be a doozy.
Oh my God, the Bastard Bowl.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. Okay, so moving on past that, the next thing up in the synopsis was Tyrion's plans bear fruit. Not so much.
Okay. They did bear fruit because his plan was to get everybody drunk and have a chat fest, and they did. They actually made smiles come out of their mouth. So don't you think it's very vague, and maybe the vagueness is just that he wanted to have a little get together.
Yeah, I don't know. This is when this storyline has been killing me this season. Like it has been horrendous. Like I'm gonna say that this is like right up there with it's getting into Dorne territory. The only reason why I say this is because the one redeeming factor that this storyline has over the Dorne storyline is that Tyrion and Varys are in it, and Missandei is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And Grey Worm, he's Grey Worm. I love Grey Worm. He's a badass, whatever. But this storyline's been going nowhere, and I don't know.
It's kind of like Peter Dinklage gets a certain amount of screen time. Because the whole reason that they've included this storyline at all has been for him, for some nice little zingers that he's had, some clever one-liners, and I mean that's been it. I would go to his vineyard because what is it? The something imp.
Oh man!
I wrote it down, but. Anyway, I would go there.
I remember it too because I told my girlfriend that I would be first in line to drink the imp's wine, whatever it was. But okay, the reason why I think this storyline is definitely run stale, and I agree with you that it just seems like they were like, hey, we have Peter Dinklage. He is fucking amazing as Tyrion. He's great with every single person that we put him together with. I mean,
and he is.
Yeah, like think about it. Over the course of the 6 seasons of Game of Thrones, like how fantastic every single pairing he's had. I mean, you put him with Jorah, which I love Jorah as a character, but he's not like the most interesting character in the sense of whenever he was on screen, I don't know, he doesn't have a whole lot of fun on screen. But whenever you put him with Tyrion, it was like gold. Like they were so much fun together. But this is the second time this season in the limited screen time that we've had in Meereen where they did this same bit.
Right. But at least this time he actually got them to tell jokes and to booze it up a little bit. He actually got them to do it this time. So, he worked his magic on them. And it was a little stale. Although I smiled just a little bit.
No, I did too. I mean, it's those moments of levity, I guess, that you get on Game of Thrones with Tyrion.
You have to have them. Oh, and it's the Imp's Delight vineyard.
Oh, the Imp's Delight. I should remember that because it reminded me of Anchorman with the Afternoon Delight. I did love the Stark joke. The Stark joke was fantastic. Like,
I thought so too.
I was laughing my ass off whenever he
spit it out, you wee, whatever.
You little shit.
Yeah, that was cool.
Exactly what a Stark would say.
Exactly.
They would be complete assholes about it, demanding that this thing give back the little bit of wine or whatever. So it was a perfect joke, and it was a perfect delivery on the sense that. Grey Worm and Sunday, it fell flat. And he's like, this works better in Westeros. And I love Missandei's joke. I thought it was funny, but
I thought it was funny too. I actually laughed. So
I did. I did laugh too. So it's not that I didn't like these scenes. So like anybody, checking our video right now, it's not that I didn't like the scenes. It's not that I don't love Tyrion. It's just that they didn't really do anything. It's almost okay because I'm gonna go over this briefly, really quickly for Meereen, because and then I would get into the other thing that I didn't like. My number one question with Meereen at this point, because we see that the Masters, they came back, they're ransacking Meereen, they're destroying it. I guess there's actually two questions. One, where the hell did Varys go? He seems to be going back towards Westeros. Is he going to meet up with Euron Greyjoy, or is he going to meet up with Yara and Theon?
I don't know. Because he did seem like I thought he said he was going to Westeros.
He did. He said he was going to Westeros for sure.
He's going to get ships and people. So, so I don't know. It was a secret mission. How would I know?
I know. Damn secret missions.
Yeah. But they did seem like they set fire to the town very quickly.
Yes, that was definite. I mean, they were throwing those catapults of fire like really high. Was
awesome. Fire bombs. I loved it.
Yeah, it reminded me kind of like the Battle of the Blackwater Bay. Like it had that feeling again, which I know that this is, like we said, we're getting the Bastard Bowl next week, and that is going to be the epic Game of Thrones, episode 9, where they have like the most fantastic badass stuff that happens. It usually happens in episode 9. Okay, so that was my first question. What the hell? Where's Varys going? Number 2 is, is Dany going to be pissed at Tyrion?
You think she's going to blame him for this? Because they were throwing around a little blame game there for a minute, and I'm not really sure how they thought that they were going to be able to avoid it.
I don't know. I mean, like, this is literally my notes for Meereen. Once I collected everything, I said boring, funny joke, stuff explodey. Tyrion is scolded. Because I didn't really like that part. Like that Grey Worm was giving him such shit about that his plans went awry. I mean, even though I
thought they were holding down the fort. That was all they really were doing until
Dany got back.
Yeah. And then she did. So, and she looked great. She looked like she had been fresh on her curling iron. I mean, her hair looked just right. Her makeup looked good. So she looked good. She looked ready to lead. So I don't see how he could be in trouble for anything.
Ready to lead / pissed off.
Yeah.
That's
maybe.
I'm worried about that. So, but yeah, Meereen didn't do really much for me. So let's get to the other thing that really didn't do a whole lot for me.
So it's like our top 3 list of things that did not do anything for me.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the Arya story. Like, it's not that it didn't do anything for me in this episode. Like, I'm glad that we finally have her time in Bravos resolved. I'm
Oh
glad we
my
have.
God, I have to
Yeah.
say something
What's
so that
that?
you can see on camera while
Yeah.
I roll my eyes. Oh, fudge sickles. I am so ready for that to be over with.
Yeah.
And it's sad because I almost wanted her killed a couple of weeks ago, or maybe it was last week, whatever, just because I was so sick of this storyline.
Yeah, it had definitely dragged on a little bit too long, and not because like there wasn't interesting stuff that happened. Again, just like with Marine, like there's stuff that you can have fun watching it, but where did it all lead to? I have no clue, because we've literally spent 2 seasons with her
Getting her
basically.
ass handed to her from the waif.
Yeah, just like this training. And I mean, even the season before that, it was like, okay, I got to get to Bravos so I can, meet up with Jack and Agar, because he told me that, if I was ever in trouble, that I needed to go here. So literally 3 seasons at minimum of Arya's has been this, which led to I'm Arya Stark of Winterfell.
Yeah.
What did she say? Oh, and I'm going home.
Right.
That's it.
And yes, it does seem like we could have got there a little easier, a little faster. I never really understood totally and completely why she wanted to become a faceless girl. I mean,
yeah.
I understood, she's hiding. She didn't want to be killed. Okay, fine. Yeah. So instead, I want to get my ass beat every friggin' day by some biatch. So it was nice to see it happen. It happened weirdly to me. So, your buddy Jack and Hagar kind of let her go oddly. When she says, no, I'm Arya Stark of Winterfell and I'm going home. And he's kind of like, yeah, baby, that's what I wanted you to say from the very beginning. Go ahead. We had to kill a girl to get you to get there. But I'm so happy now. Go free, little bird. So.
Yeah, I guess it was just kind of, I don't know. There were just no sparks in the storyline in the end. I mean, there was so many theories and speculation on what exactly was going on here, that it just kind of ultimately led to, this is what it is. This is it. Face value, no more, no less. Like,
now I feel like it was a shame that Lady Crane ended up getting killed because of Arya. That was a bummer. Although Arya had saved her in the first place, so that part made me sad. I thought it was interesting how quickly Arya had healed. Like, she slept one night and she kind of was.
She's Wolverine.
She totally was, because man, she did those. What do they call those? Is it parkour?
Parkour, yeah, parkour.
She was doing all those moves,
yeah.
And I mean, just the day before, someone had gone to her.
Yeah, she got shivved like she was in the prison yard, like with the two.
Yeah, she did.
Like 15 times, maybe more.
Exactly. I thought though that she was leading the waif on a little bit, because I mean, she made sure and had bloody handprints. And I had a hard time deciding if that was actual blood or if that was squished fruit, because they kind of focused in a lot on the fruit as she was rolling down the hill.
Yeah. But they look like oranges though, didn't they?
Yeah. But I mean, there's some like blood red grapefruits and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
But anyway, I mean, she obviously, it was blood. She was, she just got stabbed the day before. So, or a couple of days. But,
well, no, I mean, that's the thing. Like, whenever we first saw this interaction between her and the waif, whenever she did get stabbed, that's the thing. There was so much speculation that, okay, maybe Arya did this on purpose in order to fake her death so that way the waif would no longer follow her anymore. Like it was just something that there was something else that was gonna come from all of this, and it just ultimately didn't happen. Now, I will say, you know, the whole chase scene was fun. It
T-1000. Oh my God, she had the hands going. Oh, it was great.
It is exactly what it reminded me of. I was like, holy shit, we're in fucking Terminator right now.
It was so Terminator, which took me out of the show.
It did. There was the Terminator moment for me, and there was also like the Friday the 13th Jason moment for me. Like whenever, you know, because Jason will have those moments where he comes out of the house and he just does that quick turnaround whenever he's like looking for his teenage victims that were having sex out in the middle of nowhere that should have been doing the dirty, because as we all know in the 80s, if you had sex, that meant you were dying, you were dead.
Yeah, exactly. And they walk in the different direction, and suddenly they sense you somehow and spin their head. Yeah. And then they T-1000 to you. So,
the running was the definite T-1000.
Oh my God.
Dead giveaway. Like, I mean, if she wouldn't have ran, then it would have been like it was like a combo. It was a horror movie / like the Terminator T-1000 action movie, because you can go watch this game. What's the name of the game? Is it Dead by Daylight? The one that I keep telling you to watch that I showed you? Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. You know, whenever the villain doesn't run at all, but then they catch up with them, because that's what villains do. They always catch up with you. You could be a world-class sprinter, and then they're still going to catch your ass. But
even if you're running the whole time and they're walking, they still always catch you.
They still always catch you. Yes, but I'm just glad it's over with. I mean, I hate to say it, and I hate to be that way about the storyline with Arya. It's just like, thank God, go back to Winterfell. I mean, I'm much more interested in you going back to Winterfell, because it didn't ultimately do anything for me. I kept thinking, I'm with you though, like in the sense that I feel like Jack and Nagar, maybe this was the ultimate test, that he was just wanting her to, you know, to find that resolve within herself to be like, I am Arya Stark of Winterfell. I don't want to be no one.
Is he Morgan Freeman? No, he is not. So, I mean, come on. I always hate when there's just that one super wise character that, yes, you know, this is Grasshopper. This is where I wanted you to be all along. So
that's very true. I kept thinking that, honestly, like Lady Crane, which I was very sad that she died. Yeah. She reminds me so much of Catelyn Stark that I literally thought she was going to be like, and she threw off her face and it was Catelyn Stark. Like, that would have been fucking badass.
That would have been very cool.
Yeah. And then she stabbed the shit out. Then she stabbed the shit out of the waif and was like, "Don't you mess with my daughter." Yeah, that would have been fantastic. So, all right. Well, I think we've almost covered everything except for my favorite character on the show, which is the Hound. I freaking love him. Plus, we kind of touched on him a little bit earlier, because we talked about his wiener shot. So
that's true. That's the only part I watched. So
like,
that's there more.
That's the part that I screenshot, and I have that above my desk.
Is that wrong?
I mean, I'm pretty sure Rory McCann, or McCann, however you pronounce his name, I think you might be a little happy about that. I don't know.
I think so too.
Was it a
prosthetic? It was a prosthetic wiener. It so was. Because did you not see the little bit of a grin on his face as he yanked it out? And it was super stiff. If it wasn't prosthetic, why was it stiff? I mean,
it did remind me of that moment in Boogie Nights. Have you seen Boogie Nights?
Yeah, it's been a while though.
Yeah. Mark Wahlberg, he's like, I'm a big shining star. I'm a big, like blah, blah, blah. He has like this whole monologue that he says to himself in front of the mirror. And then he's like, and then he just like, plops it out on the table and everything. That's kind of what it reminded me of, because prosthetics look a little bit weird, but hey, that we're not saying anything about you personally, Hound, Mr. the Hound.
Further research is needed on my part. So
I didn't know you like Jamie. Okay, you have a very wide spectrum of the taste here. You have Jamie Lannister on the one hand, and then you got Burnt Face on the other hand.
Okay, I'm all about the peen shots on this show.
Well, I mean,
it's only fair, right?
Yeah, you and Amelia Clark, want more peen shots. So
exactly.
Yeah. So okay, let's start out really quickly, and then we'll wrap up our Rant of Thrones after show. Okay, I absolutely loved when the Hound just destroyed everybody. Like that moment whenever those dudes were talking. At first, I was like, "Who the hell are these guys?" Because they're all sitting around like a little, I don't know. It wasn't a campfire because there was no fire going. It didn't look like. But they're exchanging stories. He puts his finger up that one dude's butthole.
Sniffing each other's fingers after they put their finger up the butthole. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, this is a new kind of fun. This is what happens to us if we don't have television.
Yeah, it's true.
This is the first thing you start doing.
Or women. You got
yeah, or women too. But, which is nothing wrong with that per se, but the whole like throwing somebody off with sticking it up the bunghole, a little bit awkward. But yeah, I absolutely loved whenever he comes to that guy. It was brutal. I mean, he had the axe. It was incredible. He's just like just cutting dude's head. Like that first dude's head that he cut off, I was like, damn, that sucks for that guy. But my absolute favorite thing in that opening scene with the Hound was whenever he said, he's already like basically that dude's wiener's gone. Like,
he created a hole there where his intestines gushed out of.
Yeah, it was disgusting.
It was disgusting.
It was gross. My girlfriend was like, she did the same thing though with the peen shot. But anyway. Whenever he says those are your last words, because the guy's like fuck you, and he goes cunt, like I don't know what else to say, and when he said you're shit at dying,
yes, that was great.
He's so perfect.
Anybody to ever say that to me. I don't want to be shit at dying.
No.
So I hope I have some really good last words, but knowing me, they will be fuck you.
Yeah. I thought those were pretty properly good last words to tell him. I mean, if somebody, basically guts me and takes off all of my lower half, and I think fuck you is pretty apt.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I think so as well. But I did love the "you're shit at dying." I mean, there's that needs to be on a shirt at this point. Like I'm waiting for Shirt Punch or Ripped Apparel or T Republic or whoever does all these shirts. Your shit at dying.
Okay.
That is with the Hound. It's going to be perfect. I cannot wait. I'm going to snatch that up really quickly. But the more important stuff is later on in the episode, whenever he's hunting the rest of these guys down, the ones that were supposedly in the Brotherhood Without Banners that took out, what's his name? I don't remember Ray, the worst name ever, took out Ray from last week.
Sweet Ray.
Yes. Sweet Ray. Whenever he comes up on Beric Dondarrion and Thoros of Myr, which was incredible, we haven't seen these people since season 3. Like,
has it? I thought it was even longer than that.
No, it's been since season 3 that at least Thoros of Myr, I think, was around. I feel like both of them haven't been since season 3.
And Thoros, I didn't realize that he was considered basically he was a red man, like our red women. I didn't know that. I don't know. It didn't dawn on me that his hair was red and.
Yeah, I still don't know his. I mean, I haven't read the books that far, so I don't know his whole backstory in the sense of, yes, we have the Red Priestess, and that's what Melisandre is, and that's what I wrote her name down, Convara. I don't know how to pronounce it. She's the one that we saw briefly that interacted with Varys and Tyrion in Meereen, which we haven't seen in quite some time, but I'm wondering if she's bad. Actually, I wrote down because they showed her in the teaser. And usually whenever they show anybody in the teaser, that means they're going to come in the episode. But she didn't. We saw another Red Priestess, though. Like, did you catch that in this episode?
No.
It was very, very brief. I did a reaction video. I don't know if it's going to go up. I have no clue. I don't know yet.
Because they're going to take it down, or because you are afraid to show it.
No. There's enough in there to show, but I don't know if it's going to work out because when I recorded it, it was all funky or whatever. But anyways, there's like this brief scene with Tyrion and Varys as they're walking through the streets of Meereen. That's when Varys is about to leave. That's whenever he's walking off and they see that
before we got Varys actually smiling, which was so bizarre.
Yeah, I know he doesn't smile very often.
Yeah.
Only around Tyrion though, because they love each other. But anyways, there was another Red Priestess there because she had the necklace on and everything. So I don't know. I don't know what happened to Kinvera. I don't even know why we brought this up because we were talking about Theros of Myr. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know his backstory. He doesn't have the necklace, obviously. You know, he's not. I don't think he's like. You know, whenever he takes his necklace off, he's only throwing his ball sack up above his head because they're like hanging down to the ground.
Could be.
I don't know.
He seemed like a much cooler dude. The Red Women seem. I mean, they're so Lord of Light. You know, they're all weird. I mean, you know, sexy, obviously sexy as all get out. Yes. But they're super odd. He seemed really cool.
No, he does. He definitely seems a lot cooler than them. That's for sure. That's why I don't quite understand it because, you know, he was a drunk before. I do know that, and he even says that in this episode. He's like, you know, the Lord of Light has blessed this drunken buffoon. Basically, I'm paraphrasing what he said. With this ability to keep bringing back Beric Dondarrion. So yeah, I don't know. It is very weird how he has got these powers. And obviously, you know, just like Melisandre said in the beginning of season 6, whenever she's trying to bring Jon back, that this person had powers that she had never seen before, or that she didn't possess those at the time, or at least she didn't think that she did.
Right.
So I don't know. I can't wait to see more of them. My absolute favorite thing that did happen, it's slightly disappointing because a lot of us have been thinking that there was going to be the Clegane Bowl. You know, we got the Bastard Bowl, we got the Clegane Bowl, that the Franken Mountain was going to have to fight. It was going to have to fight the Hound. That was like a rumor or speculation that basically, and when you really think about it, it doesn't make much sense at all. That the Faith's champion was going to be the Hound some way, somehow. I don't even know how that would have worked out. And then he would have had to fight, you know, his brother, which is not even really his brother anymore because he's just he's dead. So.
But does that make it where you're not related anymore?
I don't know if it does. Yeah, I don't know. I think the Hound would still ultimately want to kill him because he hated his brother. But anyways, I'm super excited that they recruited Sir Gregor Clegane to join up with them, and I'm also excited that that they were hanging those bastard dudes that killed Rey and some of the other the people that were following the Lord of Light in last week's episode. I'm glad that we found out that those weren't actually really a part of the Brotherhood Without Banners, because I'm like, the Brotherhood Without Banners, they're cool dudes. Like, you know, they're out trying to help people. So I'm glad that they were like, these people, like, you know, they've trashed our name and we're going to hang them. And I did love the interactions with them where they're like, you get 2. You be happy about it. and then he still, like, you know, then the Hound steals that dude's shoes. It was fantastic. So
did he take both of them or just one of them?
He did. He took both. I think.
Did he? Okay.
I think he took both.
I saw one and I was like, oh, I would end up taking both. But if you just need one, go for it.
I mean, hey, you know, maybe it's hard to find a left foot out there in Westeros. So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited. I'm excited for him to join up with them, because now that means we're going to see Sir Gregor Clegane fight off White Walkers. It's going to be phenomenal. So I think it's time to wrap this up and give our ratings out of bacons. So what do you think? If you're new around here, we love bacon. So we think that it's the best rating and review system in the world to rate our shows, our games, or whatever out of 5 bacons.
Is it 5 or is it 4?
No, it's 5. It's 5 bacons.
Well, I don't know why. Why am I suddenly thinking we only do 4 bacons?
Yeah, come on. 5 bacons is better than 4.
Okay, then for this episode, I'm going to give it 3 3/4 bacons.
Oh wow, 3 3/4 bacons.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Again, that is based strictly on a Game of Thrones to Game of Thrones scale. Against all other shows, of course, this would be a 5 bacon episode. Yes. Because, you know, Game of Thrones is amazing and awesome. So, I mean, I might even go as high as
You don't have to justify your bacon scores. I mean, sometimes Game of Thrones fills us up with lovely bacons, and we get 5 of them, and we're like, oh my god, I'm slightly famished, but I think I could even have another bacon. Can I give this 6 bacons out of 5?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, and so it's okay.
I'm saving some of my bacons for next week.
That's quite all right. I mean, I think that I'm right there with you. I think for me, it's 3.5 bacons out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah, I had two huge problems with this episode. And we already discussed them, so I don't need to rehash them. At this point.
Thank God.
Yes, I'm trying to get better about that, people. But yeah, I still really like the episode. I definitely am liking where it's leading to next week, because we are going to get the mother effing bastard bowl, and it's going to be glorious. Jon Snow, I'm looking at you, camera. Don't you kill my boy. Don't you dare do it, because he says to Melisandre, he's like, don't bring me back if I die. And I'm like, no.
Bring him back. If he dies, you bring him back, bitch.
You bring that hair back.
Yeah.
You saw that lovely hair. You bring that shit back. So
exactly.
All right. We want to know your thoughts and reactions, feelings, however you think about the episode. Leave them in the comment box down below. And if I did do a reaction video, the link to that is probably going to be in the description down below as well. We really appreciate.
And we do want to know, do you like it better with the static screen or our faces? So take.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't even think about that. This is gonna take some time to get used to. It's so weird, like especially like how Google Hangout goes back and forth, like when one person talks and the other person talks, and then you think that you're not talking, but you make like a all right. So like, watch. I'm not gonna talk for a second. Okay,
are you on there or not? Are you on there?
I'm like, oh shit.
Exactly. And
hey,
I'm hoping there's some booger picking of mine that did not show up. So
yeah, exactly. You gotta be, if you're gonna booger pick when you're on Google Hangout, you gotta do it very, very quietly.
Super quietly. If things are dry and crusty, that's gonna come out on the mic, and then you're gonna be caught in mid booger pick. So
exactly, people. So just best not do that. So so let us know all those things. Do you like it with the Google Hangout? What'd you think about the episode overall? Are you excited for the Bastard Bowl that's happening next week? Put all those thoughts in the comment box down below. Thanks so much for listening to our rambles, listening to the Poor Man's Game of Thrones after show, and we'll be back next week to discuss episode 9. Can't wait.
Bye.